Chapter 2. The Cleansing. Inside, the infirmary is dim and cool, lit mostly by filtered sunlight through stained glass panels and a few enchanted lanterns hung high on the beams. The scent of sage and lavender lingers in the air, failing to mask the undertone of damp linen and illness. 3 beds occupy the far wall. On the first, a young girl with shimmering hair and lightly pointed ears stares blankly at the ceiling, lips moving in a whisper you can't yet make out. In the middle, a middle-aged man sits upright in a rigid posture, scribbling frantically into a journal with no ink. By the farthest, the third lies curled on her side, muttering a broken lullaby in an unfamiliar dialect, arms cradling something invisible. A tired half-elf, robes smudged and eyes wary, looks up as you enter. "Sergeant? Mender?" She inclines her head toward you, brushing a strand of silver hair behind her ear. "If you believe your magic can reach where ours has not, please."
"The woman cradling what appears to be an infant only she can see draws my eye. Though I know she likely cannot hear me through the madness, I stoop to her level and gently say, 'Miss, my name is Cadence Aetherwind. I'm here to help.'"
The woman doesn't respond at first. Her eyes are squeezed shut, her lips trembling as she hums the lullaby to whatever phantom she believes she holds. Her arms rock in slow, rhythmic motion, though they are empty. But as your voice settles in the air, calm, warm, and real, something shifts. Her humming falters, her head tilts ever so slightly, and her eyelids crack open. She doesn't look at you, not directly. Instead, her gaze lands just to your left, about shoulder height. Her expression softens, then sharpens suddenly. "Not too loud," she whispers. "You'll wake the hungry twin." She pulls the invisible bundle closer to her chest, curling tighter on the cot. Her eyes flick toward the far corner of the room, where a reflective steel tray has been turned face down. "They don't like when I talk to others. They get jealous." A faint breeze stirs the hem of your robe, not from the window. You sense the tinge of something arcane. Talanis stands behind you, tense but quiet. The healer grips the edge of a shelf, watching with wide, tired eyes.
Stepping back from the unsettling woman, I focus my thoughts on the elemental energies surrounding us. Wind rustles through the room, blowing curtains, parchment, and hair in a swirl of magic. As I feel the element's energy building, a thought occurs to me. I expand my focus to the reflective surfaces in the room, willing the elements to cleanse not only the woman, but guard the reflective plane.
The elements hear you. The air tightens, then releases. The wind shifts from spiraling to sweeping, a cleansing arc that moves from the cot, across the walls, and outward like a ripple through a pond. You hear the woman exhale, a long, shuddering breath, and her arms relax, slowly lowering to her lap. She blinks, and this time, her eyes meet yours.
"Where am I?"
A heartbeat later, the tray in the corner lets out a high, warbling ping, as though something inside it tried and failed to press through. The healer gasps quietly. Talanis puts a hand on her sword, but nothing more comes. The woman on the cot touches her face, confused, then lets her hands fall. "There was a voice," she whispers. "Told me I'd dropped something in the dark, but when I reached down, something held me there." She looks down at her empty hands. "It was so cold." She begins to cry, not in fear, but relief. Talanis lowers her hand from her sword and speaks quietly beside you. 1 of 3. That's more than we could do in 10 days. She turns. If the others can be reached, you've got full leave to try.
I nod solemnly. Of course! I'm relieved I seem to be able to help them. Turning back to the woman, I ask, What's your name, miss? Do you have family nearby?
She blinks again, grounding herself in the moment. The tears slow as her breathing evens out, and a faint flush rises to her cheeks. Embarrassment, perhaps, or the warmth of returning self-awareness. Mirelle, she says, voice still hoarse but stronger. Mirelle Corval. She pauses as if testing the truth of her own name, then nods once, more certain. My brother lives near the old windmill. Jace. I was walking to his house when... Her brow furrows. I don't remember leaving the road. She looks to her hands again, this time curling them into cautious fists. I don't remember much at all after that. Talanis steps forward, careful not to crowd her. We'll send for him. You're safe now, Mirelle. Mirelle looks at you, truly seeing you now. You pulled me back, she says, wonder and gratitude mingling in her voice. I didn't think anyone could. I offer Mirelle a gentle embrace, holding her steady until her shaking stops. You're safe now, I whisper. Mirelle clings to you for a moment, the kind of embrace that says more than words ever could. Thank you for finding me. Her body trembles, not from fear now, but release. When she lets go, there's a steadiness behind her eyes that wasn't there before. Talanis waits respectfully at a distance, though you catch the briefest look of something, admiration, maybe even hope, cross her face. I approach the man with the journal next. Once again, I close my eyes and channel the elements, willing them to cleanse the man while also protecting the reflective surfaces from intruders. The air around you stills as you close your eyes, focusing deeply on the currents of elemental energy coursing through the room. You feel the familiar hum begin, a subtle vibration that grows stronger with each heartbeat. With steady breath, you extend your will, weaving the cleansing winds once more. The gusts ripple gently, not harsh but firm, brushing across the man and enveloping him in a soft, glowing light that seems to pulse with life. Simultaneously, the breeze curls around the reflective surfaces, windows, mirrors, polished stone, forming an invisible shield that shimmers faintly, warding off unseen intrusions. The man's frantic scribbling slows, his tense shoulders relaxing. His eyes lift, now clearer and more focused. A faint smile tugs at the corner of his mouth. He blinks and looks around, slowly becoming aware of his surroundings. The voices, they're gone, he whispers, voice hoarse but steady. The healer exhales softly, relief evident on her face. Talanis nods approvingly. 2 down. You're doing well, Cadence. Kneeling next to the man's cot, I put a hand to his forehead as I search his aether for lingering remnants of corruption. My name is Cadence, I whisper softly. Do you remember your name? The man, now steady and calm, nods faintly as you check in. I'm Seamus, he replies weakly. His eyes hold a new clarity, but there's a lingering weariness, as though the shadows had touched not just his mind, but his very spirit. Rest, Seamus, I tell him. Your mind is free, but your aether must recover. He sinks into his pillow, finally resting for the first time in days. I slowly stand, taking a deep breath as I approach the young girl. I have concerns for this one. She's been under the dark influence the longest, it would seem. And something about her, or within her, caused the groundskeeper to take his own life. I grasp my staff ahead of me,
close my eyes, and repeat the ritual once more.
The air hums with energy as the cleansing wind sweeps over her, swirling gently but insistently. Suddenly, the temperature in the room drops sharply, a cold whisper threading through the currents, a resistance from something unseen, a shadow pushing back. The girl's muttering falters, eyes fluttering open, revealing deep pools of confusion and fear. The surface of the water in a shallow bowl near her bedside shimmers ominously, but your protective wards hold firm. After a tense moment, the girl's body relaxes. The chilling resistance fades like the last ember of a dying fire. She gazes at you with tear-filled eyes, voice barely above a whisper.
Thank you. I remember now, but it hurts.
The healer exhales a choked breath as she rushes in, clearly relieved.
Sorellis, my child, you're back. Mama!
The girl responds weakly, hugging the healer as tight as her exhausted limbs will allow. Talanis looks to you, her tone a mix of relief and anticipation. You've done it, Cadence. You've saved all 3 of them. But now, we need to find the source of the corruption, and maybe find the others. As you and Talanis step from the infirmary into the fading light of early evening, the streets are quiet. Too quiet. The usual chatter of vendors and children is absent, replaced by the distant creak of a shutter, the flap of cloth in the breeze. She nods toward the cathedral gates in the distance to the west, the collapsed ruins just visible behind them. We'll need to go down there, but not tonight. You've done more than enough for one day. She gives you a respectful nod. Rest up, regroup. You'll have a full escort when we descend. I'll see to it personally.